after 6 hours of coding and trial and error, I'm finally able to say that trial 1 strategist mode is now macroable. So you basically need this team. Blackbeard doesn't have to be ascended. Esdeaths doesn't have to be ascended. I believe you can also use, yeah, here, shirtless magician. Here's the freeze. So you can also use shirtless magician if you don't have Esdeaths here. But everyone else needs to be the same. He needs to be ascended. You need Irwin, by the way, or maybe you can use a different buff unit, but he's green and Okura's green, so you kind of need Irwin. And the macro's kind of designed for him, but yeah, let's get into this. So I'm gonna turn it on. So I'm gonna shrink my screen. Now strategist mode. And I made this, it took me 6 hours to make this, so the least you guys can do is watch the whole video, because I'm making it free too. So you go in, click Alt S. And a cool thing that I did is I actually made it check if you have auto skip on before you start. And also this macro doesn't take forever to beat either, because some strategist mode, normal playing, it takes like, they probably turn off auto skip at like round 4. This one turns off auto skip at round 12. So you beat it in like 8 minutes, I think, with 3x speed. Okay, yeah, I kind of used the camera thing from before, where it looks through the camera of my ramen grill master. This part, the beginning part from wave 1 to 8, only took around like maybe an hour and a half, or I say only, but I was feeling pretty confident. I thought it was halfway done, but I was only a quarter way done. It was just, at one point there's so many problems and it took me like a whole 2 hours to fix. But here I place Aaron. I found this strategy off of someone on YouTube, but it didn't work too well, so I kind of made it better. And yeah, it's kind of like completely changed now from what he showed in the video. But it does work, and he places the second Aaron down, uses Titan form. Oh, and also, a good thing about strategist mode macros that I found out is that basically anyone can use them as long as they have the units. Like some people say they have all-star so they can't use some macros, or like some people don't have good enough traits, but that doesn't really matter. The only thing that matters is level. Everything should be maxed out. Maybe you could get away with probably Blackbeard and Esdeaths and Irwin not being maxed out, but you definitely should have everything else maxed out. And also Irwin's buff stacks with its level, or it doesn't really stack, but it changes with its level, so you should try and get him high enough so he gets that max buff. There are some close calls that come in this macro, but basically every time you play it, it's kind of the same. There's not much RNG until the very end if the boss stuns your units, but I'm pretty confident that this macro has maybe like a 90% win rate, which if you think about it, it's pretty high for a strategist mode macro. Like most people playing it normally probably wouldn't even be able to beat it 9 times out of 10. And look, do you see there that it missed an Okura placement? So this Okura placement is very important, so I actually made it do it twice, as you can see, in case it misses it, and then it goes again. So I really did, that was a problem I faced, and it like, I don't know, it took me quite a while to fix it actually, because I tried so many different things. And then now wave 10 places all 4 Okuras, and sometimes it runs like faster than I can even think. So even though I coded this, it's like kind of weird watching it sometimes. Right, this is completely solo. A lot of people said that it wasn't possible, and I definitely think this is a first in All-Star Tower Defense X, because I tried looking around for another strategist mode macro to see if anyone else has done it yet, but no one has, and I realized that a lot of people actually don't have Esdeaths, so this is pretty nice for it. Auto skip off round 12. Oh, look at this. Okay, I automatically do the Irwin buff perfectly with 2 Irwins. Oh, that actually took less time to code than I thought. Maybe only like 20 minutes. But I thought it was gonna be like Anime Adventures, because I made a infinite buff for Anime Adventures, and everyone has like different SPAs and stuff, and it was so hard to do. But yeah, this this one is way easier. I'm able to do the Irwin buff. I was actually worried about that part. I thought that part would take the longest, but I was kind of wrong. Yeah, doing the buff again. No, I honestly think it's like super cool. It looks at the, in case you're wondering how it works, it looks like the number that is on the timer of Irwin, and once it reaches 32 seconds, then it basically like counts a second and then does the clicks. Yeah, just like that. And then it's just infinite and basically like perfect to the second. Oh, look at the strongest, and then it places the Blackbeards. The thing with this macro is it does sit on wave 14 for like quite a bit of time, but it still takes like, if you have full skip on, I think you can beat this level in maybe like 6.5 minutes, and this beats it in 8 minutes. So it's actually like, if you compare it to a tiny task macro that runs the casual mode, I think it beats it in the same time as a casual mode tiny task macro. So if you're looking for, if you don't have Esdeaths yet and you're looking for something, then definitely take this macro. Okay, look, okay, this is cool. So since I'm selling the farms, then I have to readjust my view onto this Okura at the top of the hill. So then when I delete the farms, then I can still look at my units, which I actually didn't really have to do, because the units at the, like, I could just use the unit manager to upgrade them, but I didn't want to do that because the scroll wheel sometimes messes up and I can't watch to see what's happening to fix the errors if I made any. And yeah, wave 14, I'm just stacking up cash now. What's gonna happen is it's gonna wait, I think, 35 seconds, and then it's gonna upgrade. Yeah, okay, it's starting to upgrade, and then it's gonna skip wave. It's gonna sell all my farms and then replace them. The reason why you replace them is to kind of like tank the stun, make it less chance of sending your Irwins or your oaks. Okay, there we go. Boom. Super cool. And now, okay, this is pretty cool, but what it does is it looks at the upgrade button, and once it turns green, then it upgrades him and turns on the Mercy ability. So this part actually like took me a while to figure out, because I originally just used like a timer, but it was like kind of inconsistent because the boss would get like stunned and slowed at different rates, and I wasn't sure when it was gonna be there, so I would often miss. But you're gonna see as soon as it turns green, it's gonna upgrade and then pop the ability, and then it'll also check if the other Okura also had the ability on already. Okay, unfortunately my ult did get stunned here. Yeah, see, like it turned green, boom, turn on the ability, and then did it for that guy too. So yeah, basically this is all that it does kind of, and then it continuously clicks to make sure you don't disconnect. Although I could actually remove that feature. Wait, let me just move my mouse a bit so you guys can actually see. But see, Esdeaths here, the boss wandering in, Blackbeard will slow her because she's set to strongest, and then you'll constantly get frozen and attacked. Usually it's actually like a pretty easy wipe, but you see how one of my Okuras got stunned for like 40 seconds? That can really mess things up. Or it doesn't really mess things up, but it's designed that even if one of them gets stunned, then you're still able to beat it. But sometimes it's really, really close. But like I said, this still has like a 90% win rate. So yeah, easy wipe here. Even though it looks close, it gets absolutely destroyed. Sometimes it's literally right on the base. But if you see this range here, they're still basically able to reach. And also freeze and Blackbeard here. And you still have 3 shields, so even though these like little guys they look like they're gonna hit your base, even if they do, which has never happened, then you'll still live because you have 3 shields. So yeah, just like that. Let's see how long this took to beat. So it detects when it's over. Yeah, 8.5 minutes. And it replays. So once it replays, what it does is it looks to see if you have auto skip on. Yeah, okay, there we go. And then it just runs again, over and over again. I ran this for like maybe an hour already, and I went into my, I went back to lobby, checked my units. I already had 2 new Esdeaths. So I kind of got lucky there, but it just goes to show how good the macro is.